Hey, babe, welcome back to another episode of the Money Mindset and Manicures podcast. And hello, happy new year. I am so excited that we are kicking off 2024 and we are diving straight into determining your main character energy for this year. Now, I know your podcast feed is probably inundated with all these different types of episodes of what to do this year, what not to do, how to set your goals, how to vision board, how to do all of those sorts of things, which, yes, I am an expert in. And by the way, this month on January 17th, we are kicking off our Maniscripting Accountability Challenge. It is our 14-day free challenge to help you set your goals, get clear, visualize, do the vision board, do all of those things so you're not rushing to do all of that stuff right now, because I want to acknowledge you. 2023, it may have been a great year for you. You might have had a lot of ups and downs and all those sorts of things. But the one thing that kind of grinds my gears a little bit about the beginning of the year is this rush, is this hustle to get all of your goals in place, to have that plan, to have your vision board created, to have this new routine kicking off on January 1st. And if you don't get it done, then your year is over and you failed already. We are not entering this year with that type of hustle, must do, must be energy. Want to know why? Because we are still in the winter solstice energy, okay? We are still in this rest and recovery period. And I want you to really step into this new year with not the hustle mentality, because that's what you always do. We're doing something different this year. I want you to step into this new year with grace, with reflecting on 2023, with reflecting on what worked, what didn't work, what do I want to change about this year? And I want you to marinate on all of those things for just a little bit. Because towards the end of this month, January 17th, we're just after the middle of the month, I'm hosting inside the Maniscripting community, the Maniscripting Accountability Challenge. And it's a 14-day free challenge where now and then you can then start getting really set on your goals. Now, after this rest period of the holidays, and I know a lot of you have probably hosted or traveled or had some sort of experience and stuff like that, right? Especially for the New Year's, you probably went out and celebrated. And I want you to really just start this year a little bit differently. And I purposefully start the challenge towards the second half of January, because I know these first 2 weeks, we're still all kind of in this wintry, Christmassy holiday land, right? And the pressure to kick things off January 1, it's just unnecessary. And if you don't start on your goals, and if you didn't, because I know this podcast isn't even airing on the 1st, but if you've already started on your goals and you're in that hustle mentality, awesome. I love that for you. But also take a moment, a little extra time to just marinate on this past year. Okay. And inside the Maniscripting Sisterhood, something that I gave the women in there a couple weeks ago was this reflection question PDF download, which I want you to go in there and go grab it. And I'm going to link the community down below this episode. And as soon as you log in to that community, you'll see it right away. It's pinned up at the top. But I want you to download this PDF. And you can watch the video that goes with it. It's like an hour and a half long masterclass that I did with it. But I want you to go through these questions, read through all of them, let them marinate. This is going to help you reflect. This is going to help really determine where you are at in your life and where you want to go in 2024. Because we cannot change anything about our lives if we don't reflect on the past, if we don't acknowledge the past. Because if we don't, then we can't determine what it is that we love, what it is that we hate, or what it is that we've been doing to create the same result over and over and over, right? Because if we keep on doing the same thing over and over and over, why should we expect a different outcome? We can't. It's repetitive. It's a cycle, right? So getting super clear on your past and taking that time, which sometimes it's not fun, right? Like it's always way more fun to plan about your goals and your future, to create the vision board. It's not always so fun to look at the past, especially if maybe you don't have much you think to celebrate, or you're not proud of a lot that you did, or maybe you just had a really tough year and you're just like, oh, I'm so over it. I just want to forget about it. But I'm telling you, this is super, super key for you to do, because from there, we can determine so many things of what not to do. And when you go down to sit down your plan and your goals, you'll be able to quickly create things to do. So I promise you, this is a very powerful exercise. So go into the Maniscripting community, go download that reflection, and then be sure to join me January 17th for our accountability challenge, which is completely free. It is 14 days of free training with me. I'm giving away thousands of dollars in prizes. And that is something that is literally going to help you set yourself up for 2024. Because in 2024, I want you to be the main character of your movie, because your life is a movie. You're not the side character. You're not the sidekick. You're not the background. You're not the stand-in. You are the main character of your movie. So if one day you want to show up as a different fucking person, I want you to embody that and do it. You don't need permission from anyone. All you need to do is decide that, yes, I am going to be X, Y, and Z, and I'm going to be showing up as X, Y, and Z. And I'm no longer taking shit. I'm no longer doing this. I'm for sure doing that. It's either a fuck yes or fuck no energy this year, babes. If you have a slight inkling that something is off, if you feel deep down in your gut that that is not the thing to do, that is not the person to say yes to, that is not the person to hang out with, that is not the job to take, that is not the thing, it's a no. And I want you to start trusting in that. Because the only way that you are going to manifest all of the desires that you want in 2024 is if you actually go out and fucking take it, because no one is coming to save you. No one is coming to hand it to you. You have to go out and grab it. And that is the funnest thing about our reality, is that you do get to choose who you want to be, who you want to become. And don't let anyone tell you otherwise. And this is something that's really, really exciting when it comes to this new year energy, is because we are all like ready. We're like, fuck yes, like 2024, I'm going to make it mine. I'm going to manifest it all, right? And using that energy, you're going to have that confidence. And I want you to be a little delulu, all right? This delusional energy, oh, it is so magical, and it is fucking potent as well. And you're going to take that and you're going to apply it to yourself with how you're stepping into this year. And even if you have not written out your plans yet, that's okay, because you're going to do that with me on the 17th. I want you to start acting as if like this is your year. This is your year. And guess what? Last year, we've acknowledged it. We've thanked it. We have built that glass wall. We are waving at it from afar. We're like, bye. That was the old me. Hello. This is new me, better me, more experienced me. I've had the lessons me. I've learned me. I have the tools in my toolbox me, because I'm going to handle this year so much better. Because we just have to be a little bit better than last year if you want to gain that more success, that more wealth, that abundance, that health, those relationships, all of that excitement. You just have to change a little bit. Changing that little bit is going to give you a whole new end result. So take this energy with me into stepping into this main character energy. I'm obsessed with it. I feel new. And even though I'm not the biggest fan of, okay, new year, that means we start new goals, blah, blah, blah. No, I want you to really focus on, and I will remind you throughout the year, especially on this podcast, that this energy isn't just for the next couple weeks. This is the energy we are freaking carrying this year. No woman left behind. Like, you want that desire, you want to achieve that goal, you want to manifest that job, you want to get that promotion, you want to have that baby, you want that body, you want that material bag, you want that house. It is all possible. And while we can't put a time frame on things, I'm telling you that if you just put your energy towards it, it's going to be incredible. And this year on this podcast, what I'm very excited about is we will finally have a lot of guests. I'm going to tap into so many incredible guests that are experts in all different fields, from human design to money to relationships to health, so many different aspects. So every time you tune into this podcast, you're going to get freaking inspired. You're going to learn something, because I'm all about, you know me, I want every single episode for you to walk away with an actionable step that you can implement immediately into your life, because that's how we change our lives. Okay, babe, I know you're listening to this podcast because I know that you have a desire to change your life and accomplish big goals, right? But I also know that something has been holding you back on going after those big goals. Or maybe it's that you self-sabotage, or maybe you've set these big goals and you get really overwhelmed and you just don't go after them altogether. Well, I want to introduce you to a journal that is literally going to help you change your life and help you actually manifest and accomplish any desires or goals that you have. It's called the Maniscripting Journal, and it's the #1 selling manifestation and goal setting journal designed exclusively for empowering women just like you to up level and change your life. Now, if you haven't seen this journal on social media already, I want to share with you that it is literally your personal guide to manifesting your dreams and unlocking your true potential. And inside its beautifully curated pages, you'll discover powerful daily journaling pages, workbooks, and exercises to help you set goals, help you plan your dreams, and manifest the life that you deserve. Plus, the one thing that I had to include, and it was a non-negotiable with this journal, is that it needed to have a community. So you'll also have access to join an online community filled with thousands of women just like you who are on the same path using the journal. So I invite you to join me and these thousands of women who have already embraced the power of manifestation and changed their life using the Maniscripting Journal. And I also want to gift you with a special 15% off code on your first journal order by using the code Money Mindset. The code is Money Mindset. So head over to maniscripting.com today and embark on a transformative journey by ordering the journal. So go ahead, check out the show notes, empower yourself. Answer the call to getting this journal. If this is speaking to you, I want you to join us. It's time to script your dreams into reality with the Maniscripting Journal, because you deserve to create and manifest a life that you're completely obsessed with. See show notes for details. We have challenges inside the Maniscripting community. If you don't have the journal yet, like honestly, what are you waiting for? I'm literally giving you the tools and the key in a physical paper journal for you to open up and start changing your life. It's literally all there. All you have to do is take it, order it, open it, read it, write in it, receive it. It's going to start happening for you. It is all there. And I quickly, before we go, I want to dive into some of my ins and outs for 2024. Because this past year, it's so funny. It's like every year I step into, I'm like, this year's going to be even better and better. And wow, I love being in this reality because we get to learn so many different lessons and experiences, and we get to grow and evolve and see who we are and who we are not, and who we thought we were and who we are definitely not, right? Like, it is so crazy. Just when I thought, I'm like, yeah, this was the best year ever. Then it's like, yeah, it was so good. But I'm like, holy crap, the shit that came with it is just unreal. My outs for this year. And a couple of these are very hard for me to say. So my first out is alcohol. As of today, I am 6 months alcohol free, which is crazy, you guys. Because when I, quote unquote, stopped drinking alcohol, I didn't even make it a thing. I didn't make it a thing. My last drink was July 5th. I didn't say after that day that I wasn't going to drink again. I just stopped, and then I just stopped. And then when I realized a couple months, I was like, wow, I haven't had a drink in a while. And then I actually thought about it. And then I was like, oh, it's been since July 5th. And then I just kept going and going. And then every time there was an opportunity for me to drink, I was like, you know what? It's not worth breaking my streak for this. It was very interesting. And now I can be around, for example, we just passed through the holidays, which is a very heavy drinking occasion, right? We hosted this year and had my whole family here, and it was incredible. And, the girls are making Baileys and eggnog and all these things. And I'm like, wow, last year, I was definitely enjoying that. And this year I was like, you know what? This still isn't worth me breaking it. And it's been such a fun exploration. And it has been, I think, at times a little bit difficult, like especially environments where I knew I would have a drink or something like that, or champagne or something. Like I'm a very I was turned to kind of start turning to champagne a little bit. And that was a little difficult, but I just fought through it. And it feels so good. And I don't miss it. And now I'm like really confident in this. So I'm going to keep that going. I'm not saying I'm quote unquote sober. I'm just not drinking. And it served me very, very well. I'm going to go through a couple more. One-sided friendships, relationships, basically one-sided. I experienced a lot of that in this past year. And it's really, really tough. There are very few people in my life that I genuinely feel are two-way relationships. Now, I'm not saying I have to talk to my friends every single day, every single week. No, I have some of my bestest friends I talk to like once a month, and we act like when you talk to them, nothing has gone past, like I feel like I just talked to them yesterday. I'm talking about, the relationships where you're the one constantly, like you'll see the text thread and it's like, you're the one that's always been initiating. This year, my plan kind of like that is seeing how I'm showing up in these relationships. And if I notice that I'm constantly the one always first reaching out, then that's a very one-sided relationship. And I will lovingly let that go. And I'm okay with that because everyone in our lives is in our lives either for a reason, a season, a lifetime, right? And not everyone is supposed to be a part of your journey forever. And even though, especially as women, that can be sad, that can be hard, that can be confusing, like not everyone is supposed to be your friend for forever. And that's okay. And things can just fizzle out. I have plenty of relationships now that I look back and I'm like, wow, we used to be best friends. And it's like, what happened? Like nothing bad happened. It just fizzled. And that's fine. We're all on our own paths. So that's a big one for me because I feel like I had been putting a lot of energy into certain relationships, which ended up hurting me, right? You're the one that ends up getting hurt because you're the one that cares so much. So I'm kind of just learning to manage those energies and let it go. Another one is television. Mark and I now probably haven't watched television since basically we moved to Austin, which we moved here end of April. There's that. I mean, I think we watched one or two episodes of something a month ago and we turned it off halfway and we're like, this is not hitting the same way it used to. It's so funny. We've gotten so out of it. So TV is still out for me. It's been out. It's going to continue to be out. At this point, I really want to even just remove the TVs from our house because they are just big black screens of nothingness that we don't use. So there's that. Next one is feeling bad about changing my mind. This is a tough one because I cannot sometimes stand it when people commit to things or do things and then they change their mind last second. And usually it's the reason why they change their mind, which I think is just not cool, like breaking commitments because of certain reasons, which to each their own. At the same time, I get we are all on our own paths and we are all going through our own experiences. But if there's something that I want to change my mind about and I just feel it deeply in my gut, like I'm going to do that and I won't feel bad about it. I will not be a bitch about it, but I'm not going to or be rude about it either. But I'm not going to internalize myself feeling bad or going through and doing something that I don't want to do anymore. And leading into that is holding back my opinion. I'm pretty vocal and I'm pretty straightforward, but I preface it with can I just be blunt with you? Can I be really honest with you? And it's funny, every single time, even if I've received harsh feedback due to that, in the moment, it's always days or weeks later that same person is like, fuck, you were right. You were right. I very much in my tough love character energy as well, but just doing it with love and just nurturing that. Another one is sleep deprivation. Oh man, I get into my flow sometimes where I stay up for hours and hours into the morning And that makes me sleep deprived, which then ruins my next day, my next routine, and all of that is just like yucky. And it just fucks up my day. No more sleep deprivation. No matter what, I'm going to really try to optimize my sleep a little bit better, which I'm very excited about. And if you haven't already heard, one of those ways is me literally putting my phone on the charger in my closet versus next to my bed, which is bad anyway for you. But I do put it on airplane mode, but just really starting to optimize my sleep more, which is also starting with me loving our bedroom. When we moved into the home that we are in, it was fully furnished. And our bedroom right now, like I hate the look of our bed and our side tables. It is just, it screams Airbnb and not luxury loving home with my man. So we already ordered a new like bed frame and stuff like that, stuff to make me want to come to our bedroom versus me just going in there to sleep and being like just disgusted by the look of it. Like, I don't know, like that's been a thing. And we weren't sure if we were going to stay here much longer. So anyways, I got that taken care of. So all of that ties back to sleep. Another one is toxic friendships and small-minded people, AKA friends, and stopping spending time with them. Toxic friendships kind of goes back into the one-sided relationships. Toxic friendships doesn't mean someone's like done something to you or said something to you. It is just the energy of that relationship, what I've experienced a lot of. Moving to Austin means, like this past year, means I was meeting lots of new people, brand new people. As an adult, that's hard. And as an adult, you would think that more people were more conscious of like just not having shitty friends. Like we all went through high school, we all went through college, and you had these shitty friendships and relationships, but you would think that shit would change as an adult, and it just fucking doesn't. I learned a lot of hard lessons with thinking people were really my friends and they're not. And I'm just not down with that anymore. And I'm learning, like, even though I was very excited to make a lot of new friendships in my adult life, I'm now really starting to learn, like, I'm not closed off to new friends, but I'm like, damn, this is why I have such a small crew. Like I literally could count my bestest friends on one hand. And I'm fine with that. I thought I would want a lot more people in my life and friends. And once you start seeing true colors and once you hear people start talking behind each other's backs and all of that, it is just like, I'm out of here, not dealing with that. Another out is constant phone checking and mindless scrolling. Oh, this is such a hard one. Constant phone checking is not so bad for me as much of it being a habit. So I have all notifications turned off my phone at all times. I have a few select people that can reach me through phone calling or texting. But other than that, my phone is pretty much on like do not disturb or quiet 24/7. It is literally my own habit of picking it up. The mindless scrolling, I've been getting better at it. I've even tried, putting on you've reached your 30 minutes on Instagram. Yeah, right. I ignore that every single day. So that stuff doesn't work. But I think just being more mindful for myself, catching myself in why am I on here? There are times that I just want to like get on my phone and I want to be like, go down conspiracy TikTok and see what's going on in the world. I find I'm learning during that, right? But putting a cap on it and knowing when I'm doing it versus am I just bored or am I like trying to feed my dopamine or like what is it? But those are all of my outs. My ins really quickly is intentional friendships, of course, with what I just described, intentional friendships. You're showing up for me. I'm showing up for you. There's no fucking bad, weird energy. There is no talking shit behind my back or me talking behind yours. Just good, nice, clean energy, which, yeah, is really, really rare. I truly believe that. Building wealth, now coming out of really just a decade of fixing my money mindset, fixing all stuff about money, which the upcoming episodes on this podcast are all about money, which I think is just perfect timing. But you'll learn more about that there. But just really, truly building wealth, building generational wealth, building something for the future versus just living in the now, which is a new for me because I've constantly been like, for example, running this company of Maniscripting being self-funded is constantly pouring money back in, back in. It's very hard to expand your finances when you're pouring in to your own self, which, by the way, does pay off in the long run. There's just nothing more happening than that right now. And having no shame around taking time to respond to things. Like, I'll be real, there are times where I don't respond to text messages, phone calls, or emails for like a week. Like, I'm just going to be real. It's not because I disrespect you or I don't, whatever. It's literally because I just don't feel like it yet. I don't have an answer for you, or I don't want to engage right now. I have my energy elsewhere. This might be the manifester in me. I'm a manifester in human design. I hate informing people. I don't want to tell you what I'm doing, what I'm up to. And I don't want to give you a reason why I don't want to do something either. Like, that is just my thing. So me with taking time to reply on things, it's literally like I've learned I only have a certain amount of energy to make decisions, to take action, and all of that per day. Like we all do. That's human. That's human nature. And once that is at capacity, which over this last year and definitely going into this year, manuscripting takes up 99% of that energy. So that small 1% I have to give externally outside of our household, like outside of Mark, outside of Milo, that small 1% is literally like me answering one text out of 10 that I get that day, because I'm excited about that one text. Not that I don't care, I'm not excited about the others. It's just like, it's going to take a little extra energy and I just don't have it. And I am totally okay with it. I got really okay with that the last few months. And it's fine. And then once I do answer whatever, then it feels good. It doesn't feel forced. So anyone that's in my life, if you're like a close friend of mine and you text me and it takes me a while to reply, like, I don't hate you. I'm just like energetically not available. But what I am down for is random FaceTimes. That is definitely in 2024. I started doing this a lot. I am so over the scheduled phone calls, you guys. Like, I have had scheduled phone calls on my books for years. I hate that I even have to schedule phone calls with my friends. And now I'm just gonna FaceTime randomly. And if you answer, great. And if you don't, that's fine. And you can do the same to me. And I will answer when I can. And of course, sometimes it gets to a point where you're just playing phone tag and you're like, okay, when can you be available? But I'm all about the surprise random FaceTimes. Like, yes, please. Next in for me is committing to a workout routine. This past year was so freaking wild. I went from like having a really good workout routine to then not at all and being okay with it, to then like traveling a lot and always feeling off. And Mark and I are doing a lot of things this year with our travel schedule, because a lot of times our schedules would get so screwed up, especially with traveling a lot, is we'd have like this super ass early flight at like 6 a.m., which means we would have to leave our house by 3:30 a.m. What does that do? That screws up our whole day. We're saying, so I guess this should be on an out, like out would be early ass travel. Like now our ends are revolving even our travel to keep us on our routines, which helps me stay committed to my workout routine, to eating healthy, to my sleep routine, right? Like all of that combined. This year, I'm really committing to a good workout plan. I have ski season right now that's coming up. So I want to get just strong for that and just looking good for summer. And I'll be doing wedding dress fittings here in like a month or so. So I just want to make sure I'm just like, I already feel my best. I already feel like I look my best, but it's just like even better. Just take it up a notch, because when I work out, I feel really great. And when I don't, obviously I don't. So that is something that I want to make sure is in and priority this year. Next one is luxury travel and first class flights. So this past year, Mark and I finally got our finances and credit cards in order to build status on Delta and American Airlines. And we hit top status on both of those this year, which is freaking incredible. Really prioritizing, like I said just previously, about traveling in comfort and making sure our routines aren't screwed up with it. Like, of course, put in first class travel. And a lot of times, like with the way that we're building points and we now have status, like getting free upgrades to first class is like probably going to be a no-brainer for almost every flight that we take, which will be really cool. And that's what I'm kind of hoping for. But really putting myself in this place of feeling good, feeling abundant, even when traveling. And I know for some of you, you're just not there yet. And trust me, that was me my entire life until literally this past year. But the only reason it's happened is because we actually sat down to have a conversation about, hey, we are spending money on credit cards anyway, and these points and all the shit that we're doing, it's not accumulating to anything. Like, let's get serious. Like, what do we love to do? We love, like, for us, it is travel. Like, for us, that is important. For you, it might be a credit card that gets you points on something else, like put it towards X, Y, and Z, whatever. Like, figure out what your thing is. And because you're using your credit cards anyway. And we just literally changed the way that we were spending. We got the cards that we wanted. We freaking did the thing. And wow, shocker, like, we got exactly what we wanted, which is the statuses that we want to fly. Next one after that is asking for help and asking for what I want. As a manifester in human design, which, by the way, there will definitely be an episode on human design because this is just a game changer for you. But me, for asking for help and asking for what I want and just declaring all that, like, it's just hard because I just expect everyone to know what I want, what I desire, how they need to help me. And I hate the explanation process of it. So this year, instead of me just saying, no, I got it, I am freaking offloading everything I possibly can off my plate whenever the opportunity arises. And in turn, that's going to help free up energy for me so I can do other things. So where can you do that for yourself in your life? And then last couple things is deeper plant medicine exploration. I have been really we've been working a lot with plant medicine since we moved to Austin on a monthly basis, which has been absolutely life-changing. And I want to explore more with somatic body work. I don't know about you, but I've been getting these ads on Instagram about just somatic bodywork daily exercises, and I'm getting them all the time now. And I'm sure I'm going to open my phone after I'm done recording this and probably get an ad for it. But I want to explore more with it because I've seen how powerful it is. I've had friends do this type of work, and I want to see where I can release more in my body, which will be really cool. So that's definitely in and doing that on a consistent basis. And last ones is more reading. I did pretty okay with reading in 2023. I want to do more of it and be more intentional with it, which will help me stop with scrolling as much and taking social media breaks when I need to. And being organized with that. So I don't, quote unquote, feel guilty about it or feel like I dropped off the face of the earth. So being a manifestor in human design, if I have to inform people all the time, which me posting on Instagram is me informing, that's draining. So there are times where I can go days or weeks without posting on social media because I don't feel like it. And then I'll come back and just do a complete brain dump of, hey, these are all the things that I did. And I'm totally okay with doing that. With that, those are my ins and outs. I want to know, what is your main character energy that you are going in with to 2024? Are you confident? Are you the abundant one? Are you healthy? Are you diving into all the material things? Like, what is that 2024 main character energy that you are carrying in? And I invite you to join me on January 17th inside the Maniscripting Sisterhood for our 14-day accountability challenge. You don't even need to sign up or do anything fancy. It's literally just get into the community. You will hear and see all the directions and instructions there. Just a few days leading up to the challenge, I'll be sending out messages, putting out messages in there, emails, all that sort of stuff. It will put you on a path to changing your life this year. And I just want to say that I'm so freaking happy and grateful that you are here with me listening to this podcast Maybe you're following me on social media. Maybe you're in the Maniscripting Sisterhood community, because I know that just by you tuning in, you're activating things inside of you that just needed a little bit of shaking. And by listening in and tuning into all of this stuff, oh, babe, you're going to wake up so much greatness within you. And I am just so happy and proud to be a part of your journey. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you in the next episode.